The Real World Homecoming Los Angeles premieres on Paramount Plus November 24th. And joining me today to talk about returning to the iconic Venice Beach home they shared nearly 30 years ago, Jon and Irene. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Hey, tell me a little bit about why you decided to come back.
Well, for me, it was to address unresolved issues that happened 28 years ago, and to get to know my roommates on a different level, because after 28 years, we have matured a lot, and some of us haven't. So, and just to get to know one another again.
Yeah, for me, it was just a great experience. I look back 30 years ago and say, hey, the real world, while it was very stressful and there were some great times and there were some times that weren't very great, overall, it was a really tremendous experience. And now that I'm 47 years old, I look back and I say, that was a lifetime experience. Like, that was a really cool thing to get to do that people don't get to do. I mean, I'm one of a very few small group of people that got to do something kind of crazy and wacky, but really awesome. And so now that I'm 30 years older, I say, man, I would love to do that again. I would do a couple things differently. And then that phone rang. And hey, Jon, you want to do a homecoming with the real world? Yes, let's do that. That would be awesome.
I love the enthusiasm, and I got to ask you about, on the note of changes, the Venice Beach home, the centerpiece of your season, still sits on the same block as it did so many years ago. However, the neighborhood around it is dramatically different. And to that point, I want to ask kind of a loaded question here, but what's changed between you guys and your castmates since 1993?
Well, that the house it looks the same, and then all of the decor, of course, was updated and different. But the neighborhood, Venice Beach, has really made a comeback. I mean, it's a great place to go and visit again, and they've really cleaned it up. There's a lot of great businesses that are there, and then you put us back in the same environment, and boom, you have fireworks again, because there we are in the same house having some of the same discussions, and really just butting heads again as seven different personalities, all type A, all very, very sure that they're the ones that are right and everybody else is wrong. And who knew, it may made for a great television show.
What about for you, Irene?
Definitely the neighborhood has changed, but what was really interesting were some of the neighbors are still there.
Yeah.
Some of the neighbors, they're like, oh yeah, you guys are back. So that actually kind of shocked me, because they remembered us and they were very warm and welcoming, and made it feel like home again.
That's crazy. What an interesting fact. And it's cool that they remember you. I mean, it'd be hard not to remember your characters from the show, and then also I'm sure all the action happening around the house at all hours. And the real world is touted for being really the starting point for reality TV. So now seeing the vast spectacle of this genre. So do you guys feel like you're sort of pioneers in that space?
Yeah, it's funny that you use the word spectacle, because I mean, I feel honestly like a spectacle. When we were on the show in the 90s, I mean, it made quite a scene. And then our homecoming is going to be spectacular. And so I'm telling you, it felt like we were back in the 90s. But just that while some of the events and conversations are unfolding and some of the conflicts, even in the homecoming, you can tell in that moment that it's going to be great television.
Absolutely. Irene, do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh yeah. It's very interesting to go back and talk about the things that happened in 1993, because they're so relevant now. And to be able to address those, I think people are going to really relate to us even more.
And to that point, there were so many serious real world issues that you guys tackled during your season. So what are some of those conversations that viewers can expect during Homecoming?
Well, I mean, obviously, Tammy, 28 years ago on television, became pregnant and had an abortion. And so you've got conservative people like me that have opinions about those things, and you're living with these people that have become family to you. And now we've got 30 years of retrospect. And honestly, love for one another. I mean, we're a family, a dysfunctional family, but here and now we're talking about a sensitive topic like that. And then all of this stuff that has unfolded in the last couple of years we all went through coronavirus and are still going through it, but we're in different parts of the country going through that. And how has it affected us and our families? We're watching our TV screens, and we watch the George Floyd incident, and we look at all of the just the tension and the conflict that's happening in our nation. And we're real people. So when we get back together and we talk about current events and we talk about the happenings, the bothersome things that have been happening in our country, we talk and we talk about it from all different perspectives and opinions. So you're getting the real world all over again. That's really why I love the show, is because you're getting real raw opinions from real people that are passionate, and they're coming from all angles and backgrounds about it. And so there are a lot of topics that are talked about. We talk about Black Lives Matter. We talk about abortion. We talk about some of our roommates that have children that are going through some issues, and all of that is a huge part of our homecoming.
Irene, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, like John said, we get to address some of those issues, like the Me Too issue as well. And we shed a lot of light on what's going on now. And I think people will want to tune into that because it's completely different from, say, The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, and those type of reality shows, because I think you're going to really get a lot out of connecting with each one of us.
Very raw, very authentic, just like the original. Guys, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and for also for going back to the Venice Beach home. We're all so excited to see what this season brings, and I can't wait to watch it starting November 24th. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Real World Los Angeles Homecoming premieres again Paramount Plus November 24th. Download the Paramount Plus app to stream on the go. I'm Katie Johnston for CBS Local News.